But something was said to me just before I took the platform by a very dear friend of mine who is here tonight. Although he will admit to me and to everyone in the world he is 101% American, but he cannot deny the fact that he has 101% of the Irish background in him too. So he gave me the definition of an Irishman. An Irishman is one who does not know what he wants. And there will be no peace on earth until he finds it. Not exactly his words, he told it much better than that. But that's the essence of it. He does not know what he wants, and there will be no peace on earth until he finds it. Well, that's the whole vast world. Asking, what do you want? He doesn't really know what he wants, because what everyone wants is to find the Father. And you can't find the Father without the Son. Basically, we're trying to find the cause of the phenomena of life. What makes things happen in my world? He told me, years ago, long before he met me, he had these sort of daydreams of, talking to a crowd. Maybe going on radio. Maybe on TV. Here out of the blue, someone came into his restaurant in Ojai and offered him a series of lectures here in New Mexico. Possibly to send him into Arizona. She can arrange other things for him. And the whole thing is done. But he remembered these daydreams. Most of us don't remember. And when we are confronted with our own harvest, we deny it's our harvest. So I tell you, there is no such thing as an accident in this world. No. There is no such thing as a natural cause. Every natural effect has a spiritual cause. That is an imaginal cause, and not a natural. A natural only seems. It is a delusion of our fading memories. We can't remember when we set it in motion. He remembers that long before he met me in San Francisco, that this happened back east, this daydream of his. And now, suddenly, out of the nowhere, a seeming stranger comes into his world. Listening to him in his restaurant, carried away with what he had to say, the way he said it, is moved to arrange this thing for him. He doesn't have to lift a finger to do it. It all will be done for him. So I say, dream noble dreams. Wonderful dreams. If they don't come to pass tonight, tomorrow, or next week, you keep on dreaming them. But try to put yourself into the dream as though it's taking place. And try to live in it. Be possessed by the dream. And see the whole thing unfold within you in this world of Caesar. Always bearing in mind the real dream. It must come to an end only when it's fulfilled. And the story is the fulfillment when you awake. For resurrection is waking. It's not gathering dead bones together and putting flesh on it. It's simply awakening. You are sound asleep and you awaken like a man out of a deep, deep sleep to find yourself in a tomb. But you have the strength to break the bonds of that tomb and to come out of that tomb. And when they come to search for the body, they've taken away the body. They only knew you by reason of the body that you wore, and that's taken away. They can't see you. Him they could not see. But he was fully aware of everyone round about him. And here, all the symbolism of Scripture is unfolding before him. And he is the central character in the entire drama. They're talking about him. They aren't talking about Jesus, they're talking about you. You are individualized, and you tend forever and forever towards ever greater individualization. They didn't call me by any other name. Didn't call me God, didn't call me the Lord, didn't call me Jesus. They spoke of me as Neville. It's Neville's baby. I was aware of being I. No loss of identity whatsoever. But then when David comes, here is Neville. In this century I was born, the year 1905. Here we have a recorded so-called history a one born 1,000 years BC. And he stands before me, and I know I'm his father. And here we have words put into his mouth that the Lord said to him, "You are my son." And I know that I am his father. And only then did I gain the certainty as to who I am. So you will not lose your identity, yet you are God the Father. It is Father that is being revealed, the sweetest name there in Scripture. He is a loving Father, may I tell you. In spite of all the pain you've gone through and all the horrors of the world, for this is a nightmare. Can't confine it only to the night, it's a daymare too, with most people. So I tell you, at the end, it's not a reward, it's simply victory. You had plotted and planned the whole thing before you entered the tomb. You prepared a way for your own return to whom? To yourself. I came out from the Father, and I came into the world. Again, I am leaving the world, and I'm returning to the Father. And that's the story of this week. So as far as Friday goes, Good Friday, save your tears. The crucifixion is over. And it was a voluntary act on your part, which is God's part. You laid yourself down in a tomb for the purpose of dreaming the dream of life. And in that dream, you suffered. You knew you would. As you're told in the 24th chapter of the book of Luke, again you're told it in the 18th for that matter, but the 24th. O foolish men and slow of heart to understand all that the prophets have written and said about the Christ. Was it not necessary that Christ suffer these things and then enter into his glory? It's part of the training. These are the furnaces. I tried you in the furnaces of affliction. Why? For my own sake. For my own sake I do it. For how should my name be profaned? My glory I will not give to another. And my name is Father. That's my name. That's the name, truly, that is God's name in the world. And so the word God, which makes the mind jump on the outside, is not truly the name. We take the word Elohim and we translate it God. We take the word Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh and translate that Lord. But the name that is revealed is Father. That's who this being is. This creative being is Father. And everyone is in search of the Father. And one day, he's going to find the only one who can reveal him as the Father. And when he finds him, he finds his own son, David. Now that will come as an awful shock to the majority of people in the world. And I would not take back one little iota. It's true. I'm not speculating. I'm telling you exactly what I have experienced. It's not theory with me. This is all what I know from my own personal experience. It was always there in that book called the Bible, but I had not experienced it, so I couldn't see it. He said, you have eyes and you see not. And you have ears and you hear not. Because they're not yet bored. And it takes the furnaces to bore these eyes for you, and to bore the mouth for you, to bore the ears for you, that you may experience Scripture. And then the whole thing unfolds within you.